All right, so get this. Today, we're going deep, like really deep, into the world of EGCG.
EGCG.
And its incredible, like almost unbelievable potential to tackle hypertension.
Yeah.
We've gotten our hands on some seriously cool research,
Yeah.
a full dissertation, and a really comprehensive review article, both all about this powerhouse compound. And they both have...
all about.
Yeah, all about this, how EGCG can help us manage
It's amazing.
blood pressure.
And it's not just like, oh, drink tea for wellness. We're talking targeted benefits, all backed by science.
Exactly. And it's important, right? Because think about this.
Yeah.
In Malaysia, a recent study found that 42%, that's almost half of adults over 30, are dealing with hypertension.
Wow.
That's huge.
That is a silent threat to so many people.
It is a silent threat, and that's why we're doing this deep dive.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about this EGCG, or should I say epigallocatechin 3-gallet.
Right.
It's a mouthful,
It is.
but we know it's found in green tea, and it might just be the key to managing blood pressure. But how? What's the science behind it?
So picture this. Your cardiovascular system, right? It's like a network of highways.
Okay.
And your blood needs to flow through those highways.
Right.
EGCG swoops in and actually improves how flexible those highways are. Those are your blood vessels. And by doing that, it makes it easier for the blood to flow through. It reduces the strain on your heart.
So smoother traffic flow in your body.
Exactly.
I like it. But it gets even more impressive, right?
Yeah.
The research goes deeper
Oh, yeah, for sure.
than that.
Way deeper. One study actually looked at rats and how EGCG affected their blood pressure over time. And the rats that were given EGCG, they developed hypertension way slower
Oh, wow.
than those who weren't given the EGCG. It's like EGCG was like, nope, not going to let that blood pressure go up.
That's amazing. So I got to ask.
Yeah.
Are we talking EGCG supplements here, or just like
That's a great question.
drinking a bunch more green tea?
This is a really good question. And they're actually still researching what the best way is to get EGCG and how much you should be getting.
Right.
This particular study, they used concentrated doses, but they're definitely still looking into how different amounts and what form of EGCG is best. But here's the thing. EGCG doesn't just work on the blood vessels themselves.
Okay.
It actually interacts with this really important system in our body called the RAAS,
Of what?
the Renin-Angiotensin-Aldosterone System.
You're going to have to break that one down for me.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, right?
Yeah.
But it's really just a fancy name for a bunch of hormones that control our blood pressure.
Okay.
Think of it like an air traffic control tower, but for your circulatory system, you know?
Right.
It can tell blood vessels to constrict, so that raises your blood pressure, or relax, which lowers it.
And EGCG can influence this air traffic control.
Yes.
Wow.
That's what's really cool.
So EGCG is like working directly on the blood vessels, but also influencing this RAAS system.
Right.
This air traffic control for our blood pressure.
Exactly.
It's a two-pronged attack on hypertension.
Yeah, and there's even more to it.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, remember nitric oxide? We were talking about that earlier?
Yeah.
The body's natural vasodilator?
Right, right. It's like the thing that tells your blood vessels to just chill out
Yes.
and widen.
It's that mess.
Okay. Yeah, so how does EGCG play into that whole nitric oxide thing?
So EGCG actually does a couple things. It can boost the production of nitric oxide.
Okay.
So it's making sure that message is really strong and clear.
Right.
But then it also helps with something called enos uncoupling.
Enos uncoupling. I'm
Yeah.
going to be honest with you. I have no idea what that means.
It sounds kind of complicated, but
Yeah.
think of it this way. You've got a garden hose, right?
Yeah.
And there's a kink in it.
Okay, yeah.
So the water's not flowing properly.
Right.
That's kind of what enos uncoupling is doing to nitric oxide production.
Oh.
It's stopping it from being able to lower your blood pressure effectively.
So it's like EGCG sees that kink in the hose and is like, hold on, let me help you out with that.
Yes, exactly.
I love that.
EGCG swoops in, it helps the enzyme that makes nitric oxide, gets it working properly again.
Wow.
So that message is coming through loud and clear.
That's amazing. So we've talked about how amazing EGCG is, but, you know, we're looking at these two sources, right? The dissertation and then also this big review article.
Right.
Did they kind of have different perspectives on EGCG?
Yeah, they did. And that's what's cool about this deep dive, right?
Uh-huh.
The dissertation was really focused on like the mechanics of EGCG,
Yeah.
how it works in the body.
The nitty gritty?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The review article, that took a much broader view, talked about all sorts of different benefits, not just blood pressure.
Oh, wow.
Like this stuff is...
This is like the overachiever of
It is?
compounds, really.
Yeah. It's a rock star. It's got these potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, which are huge for your health.
So it's like the, what is it, the jack of all trades
Yeah.
of the health world.
Kind of, yeah. It can potentially lower your risk of certain cancers, it protects your cells from damage, and it even might help you age better.
Okay. EGCG, if you're listening, I'm sold, all right. That's
It's amazing.
that's incredible. But obviously, we always have to say this. More research needs to be done right.
Absolutely. Yeah, the dissertation actually brought that up. They were like, this is really exciting, but we need to look at the long-term effects.
Of course, yeah.
What happens if you take this for a long time? And what's the right dose for what you want to use it for?
Yeah,
So there's still a lot to learn, for sure.
right. Safety first.
Oh.
But, I mean, it's hard not to get excited
It is exciting.
about EGCG after learning all this.
It opens up a lot of doors, this research,
Right.
especially when you think about how it might work with other beneficial compounds.
Oh, like it's teaming up with other super nutrients.
Yeah.
It's like the Justice League of the health world.
Yeah.
EGCG,
Right.
teaming up, finding other super nutrients to work with.
Yeah, exactly. So one really interesting one is EGCG and resveratrol.
Wait, resveratrol? Isn't that what's in red wine?
Yeah,
That's been getting a lot of buzz.
exactly. It's a powerful antioxidant. It's found in grapes, red wine,
Right.
and it also seems to be really good for your heart.
Okay.
But the really cool thing is some studies show that when you put EGCG and resveratrol together, it's like their powers combine.
Right.
And they get even stronger.
It's like, what is it? The power of 2. 1 + 1 = 3.
Exactly. Yes, synergy.
Oh, right.
It's not just about finding one magic thing.
Right.
It's about how things work together.
And this kind of goes back to what you were talking about before, right?
Right.
With personalized nutrition.
Exactly.
Like, this is
This is a great example.
a great example of that.
Yeah, because if we know how these things work together,
Right.
we can start to be like, okay, what does this person need?
Right.
What are their genes like? What's their lifestyle like? And then design a plan that's just for them.
It's like a blueprint, but for our health.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That's really cool.
It's pretty cool.
So what you're saying is that the future nutrition is personalized, and it might involve a lot of EGCG and resveratrol.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Who knows what we're going to discover, right?
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow there'll be a new study about how some rare mushroom and like a berry you've never heard of can
Right.
like cure everything.
We'll have to do a deep dive on that. then.
Exactly.
But, okay, more realistically, all the stuff about EGCG is super promising, but it's not like we can just snap our fingers and have these personalized plans right now.
Yeah.
So what can we do
Yeah.
today, knowing what we know?
Yeah. So while we're waiting for, scientists to figure all that out,
Right,
don't underestimate just making good choices now.
right.
Have a cup of green tea. You know it's good for you.
It is.
It's got all this potential.
Yeah, and it's delicious.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think the big takeaway here is don't underestimate a nice cup of tea.
Always a good takeaway.
But also I think the really big takeaway is stay curious.
Yeah.
Keep learning, because who knows what else is out there in the world of food and health
Exactly.
that we might discover that might be super beneficial for us.
Totally. And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
We're always learning.
This has been awesome. Thank you so much for doing this deep dive with me.
Thank you for having me.
And to everyone listening, we'll see you in the next episode.